Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are getting married. At least according to the wild theories floating around ESPN New York, where Don LaGreca, with Alan Hahn and Peter Rosenberg at his side, took the airwaves by storm with a heated monologue about the Kansas City Chiefs and their chances of starting the season with 3 straight losses. He declared, with a conviction that bordered on theatrical, that the NFL just wouldn't let it happen. The Chiefs, sitting at 0-2, are about to face the Giants, a team that's also winless, but LaGreca didn't care about the Giants' struggles or the X's and O's of the matchup. He cared about the spectacle, the drama, the ratings, and the undeniable star power of a team that's become as much a pop culture phenomenon as a football dynasty. He pointed out the schedule. With Kansas City set to play the Giants, then the Ravens, then the Jaguars, all on primetime television slots, all demanding a level of excitement and stakes that a winless Chiefs team just couldn't provide. He painted a picture of league executives, television producers, and advertisers all holding their breath, unwilling to risk a ratings dip. And then he brought up the big guns, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, recently engaged, at the center of headlines and memes and endless speculation. For LaGreca, that engagement meant more than just tabloid fodder. It meant the Chiefs were untouchable, protected by a narrative too valuable for the league to let slip away. He didn't mince words, saying on the air, "There's too much on the line, I'm sorry. Call me a conspiracy theorist. ESPN can fire me." The NFL is not going to allow the Kansas City Chiefs to lose that game on national television and be 0-3. What are you gonna do? Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are getting married later. They're engaged. I'm telling you, we're gonna sit here next Monday and we're gonna say, I'm telling you, there's gonna be at least 3 calls where we're going to be like, how did that happen? The suggestion was clear. The league would tilt the scales if it had to, would make sure the calls went a certain way, would do whatever needed to be done to keep the story alive and the audience locked in. When his co-hosts pushed back, wondering if the Chiefs even needed help against a Giants team that seemed lost, LaGreca dialed back the sarcasm only slightly, but he stuck to his guns. Honestly, people, rise up. Come on, speak our minds here. Is there any world where the NFL is going to say, whatever we do, make sure the Giants win this game? Goodell will run on the field. It was part theater, part frustration, part commentary on the way sports and entertainment have fused into something bigger and messier and more unpredictable than ever. Subscribe for more wild sports stories just like this one. LaGreca's rant came at a time when fans and analysts were already talking, already wondering how a team as loaded as Kansas City could find itself staring down the barrel of an 0-3 start. The last time it happened was 2014, a year that feels like ancient history in the fast-moving world of the NFL, and the idea of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and Travis Kelce, yes, that Travis Kelce, being the league's biggest disappointment, was too strange for some to accept. But LaGreca wasn't interested in the football side of things, so much as the business and the spectacle and the sense that sometimes the stage is set and the actors are chosen and the outcome, or at least the shape of the drama, is decided before the opening kickoff. He saw the Chiefs not just as a football team but as a storyline, a franchise that had become essential to the league's identity, especially with the added draw of a pop superstar in Taylor Swift. The engagement wasn't just a personal milestone to LaGreca's mind. It was a plot twist, a reason for the cameras to linger a little longer, for the commentators to riff, for the fans to argue and speculate and stay glued to the screen. He made it sound like the NFL was a show and the Chiefs were the stars, and every week was another episode in a season that wasn't about wins and losses as much as it was about moments and memes and keeping the biggest story alive. He said it again and again, that the league couldn't let the Chiefs fall, couldn't stomach the idea of a team with so much invested in them, so many eyes watching, so many storylines swirling, becoming an afterthought before October even arrived. He talked about the schedule, about how the Chiefs were lined up for primetime games, about how the league needs its best teams at their best when the whole country is watching. He talked about the money, the ratings, the narratives, the way sports have become something bigger than just the game on the field. And he brought it back, always, to Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, and the idea that their engagement had somehow made the Chiefs even more invincible, even more essential to the league's grand design. The conversation turned to the specifics of the upcoming game, with the Giants floundering and the Chiefs desperate for a win, but LaGreca didn't budge. He kept spinning his theory, kept insisting that the league would step in if it had to, that the story was too good to let go. He said, "This is the NFL, this is entertainment. This is what gets people talking." He talked about the calls that might go the Chiefs' way, about the moments that would have fans scratching their heads, about the sense that sometimes things just don't add up and everyone has to pretend they do. He didn't care if people thought he was joking or if they thought he was serious. He wanted to make the point that the league has too much to lose to let its biggest stars fade away. The conversation went on, with Rosenberg and Hahn playing their roles, pushing back, raising questions, but LaGreca holding firm, turning every objection into another reason why the league would do whatever it takes. He talked about Goodell, about the power of the commissioner, about the way the league can shape outcomes without ever admitting to it, about the way the game has changed. He talked about the fans, about how much they care, about how much they invest, about how much they want to believe the story is real, even when it feels scripted. He talked about the way the NFL has become a soap opera, a reality show, a drama that never ends. And the Chiefs, with Mahomes and Kelce and now Swift, are the stars at the center, the ones everyone wants to watch. He painted a picture of the league as a machine, churning out content, building narratives, keeping the spotlight where it belongs. He talked about the pressure, the expectations, the sense that everyone, from the executives to the players to the fans, has a role to play in keeping the story alive. He said over and over that the Chiefs just couldn't lose, that the league wouldn't let it happen, that there was too much at stake. The conversation moved from the Chiefs to the broader picture, to the way the NFL has changed, to the way every game feels like an event, to the way the lines between sports and entertainment have blurred. LaGreca kept coming back to the same point, kept insisting that the Chiefs, with their star power and their storylines and their primetime slots, were too important to fail. He talked about the upcoming games, about the Ravens and the Jaguars, about the way the schedule seemed to be built around keeping the Chiefs in the spotlight. He talked about the audience, about the millions tuning in, about the advertisers, about the networks, about the sense that the league is no longer just about football, but about keeping people watching, talking, arguing, caring. He said that the Chiefs were the show, that the league needed them, that the story couldn't go on without them. He talked about the engagement, about the way it had become a talking point, about the way it had sucked in fans who might not even care about football, but care about celebrities and romance and drama. He said that the league was built on stories, and the Chiefs were the biggest story of all. He talked about the way every game feels like a cliffhanger, about the way every call can be second-guessed, about the way the league seems to always get what it wants. He talked about the pressure on the refs, about the way close calls go, about the way the league can nudge things in the direction it wants without ever saying a word. He said that the Chiefs were too big to fail, that the league would do whatever it took, that the story was too good to let go. He talked about the fans, about the way they buy in, about the way they want to believe, about the way the league gives them just enough drama to keep them coming back. He talked about the future, about the way the league will keep building new stories, new stars, new rivalries, but for now, the Chiefs are the center of it all. He said that the engagement was the icing on the cake, the thing that made the Chiefs even more compelling, even more essential to the league's plans.